So good evening and welcome. Thanks for coming. So tonight we are going to work on a flow that really focuses a lot on glutes. There's this phenomenon that's called glute amnesia or sleepy butt syndrome. And a lot of times we don't use our glutes, we don't turn them on so that we're not getting the whole power and the protection from them. So what we do today will be glute focus. And if it's too much or you don't like it, leave out anything that you don't like for sure. So I'm going to start out seated. With that being said, you can see with your legs crossed or your legs in front of you. And just move around so you find a comfortable spot. And just feeling your sit bones rooted to the mat. Take one big breath as we inhale, filling up the chest, filling up the belly. Exhale, letting it all go. And for just a moment, letting yourself, or finding yourself, picturing yourself at a spot that gives you peace, whether it's the mountains or whether it's the ocean or a meadow. And just noticing how you feel, noticing your breath, the temperature. And that sense of peace that you get, seeing if we can bring that along with us and cultivate that. Knowing you can breathe through anything that doesn't feel right, anything that's maybe challenging. We start to work with that Ujjayi breath to bring us through practice. We'll draw the breath in through the nose, pulling it all the way down to the mat. And letting it go, releasing it, pulling it all the way back through the body and out the nose. I'm using this breath as a barometer during practice. If you don't have enough heat, you know you can turn it up. If you're creating too much heat, you can back off, you can take a child's pose or an open mouth breath. We're gonna let our legs extend in front of us if they're not there. Coming into our half lower to the fish. We'll take that left foot on the right thigh, or crossing it over the right thigh, placing it on the right side. Left hand comes behind with a nice straight spine. Inhale the arm up as we exhale, twisting left. And just noticing your spine, noticing how it feels today. If it's a little bit more open or a little bit stiffer. Just keeping that in mind as we go through practice today. As you come back to center, placing the hands behind you so the fingers are facing towards your hips. We're going to take a seated pigeon. So bending the right leg with that left foot on your right thigh. And adjusting the depth as to where that right foot is. If it's further away, it won't be quite as deep. The closer you slide it to your hips, the deeper it will be. And sometimes I like to rock just a little bit one way or the other. Sometimes looking for that sweet spot that just a subtle shift might give you. As you're really straightening the legs. And we'll take right leg, crossing it over left. As the right hand plants behind, inhaling left arm up and twisting to the right. And coming to center, hands behind as we take that seated pigeon, bending the left leg, that right foot on the left thigh. And just noticing if you need to go to the same spot, maybe deeper, maybe not quite as deep on the side. And we'll start to extend the legs. Actually, we'll cross them. Rock forward to a tabletop. Planting hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Take one cat-cow, inhale into cow, pausing here for just a moment, really feeling the entire spine. So we exhale the cat, pulling the belly button up, letting the head gently lower. Back to tabletop. As we come into our barrel rolls, hip shift to the right, sweeping along the heels, rock left, and come forward. We'll just find our shape, a circle, freeform shape, whatever feels good. We'll take one more round this direction. Shifting to the opposite way, hips shifting left, coming along to the heels, coming right. Taking 3 more rounds here. Pause back on our tabletop and extend the left leg behind. And keep it about hip height. You can point the toe if that feels comfortable. And we're going to pulse this left leg 10 times for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping the leg up, we're going to draw knee to elbow 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bringing the knee back down, we'll switch sides. The right leg extended, toe pointed. Pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right knee, right elbow for 1, 2, 3, 4. Knee comes down, extending the right arm out, left leg behind, finding our awkward airplane. Right arm goes right, left leg goes left. Really tapping into the core, finding a safe gaze for your neck on the mat. Extending arm and leg. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Planting hand and knee on the mat. Taking this to the second side, left arm, in right leg. Taking that awkward airplane. Really corseting that ab up toward the back to help protect the low back. Standing arm and leg. 1 time, elbow to knee on the exhale. Inhale, extend. Planting hand and knee on the mat. Scrolling the hands out about a handprint, tucking the toes. And finding your way back to down dog. Really settling into this down dog. Letting the hips float up and back. Knowing a bend in the knee is always a great option here. And sometimes if your hamstrings are a little bit sore, starting with the bend and then straightening can be a lot kinder. Maybe bending one knee at a time, maybe a sway of the hips. Your gaze forward, walking toes to the top of the mat for a ragdoll. Clasping onto your elbows or letting the arms hang freely. Maybe enjoying some movement, some rocking side to side. We're just gently starting to ease into the hamstrings. As the hands release, the feet walk together, rooting into the feet, rising to mountain pose. And hands, head settle at heart center. So we take a moment to set an intention for our practice. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands, stepping back to our high plank. Or with bent elbows, coming down halfway or all the way to the belly. Top of the toes, rising cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We flow through the sun salutation A, really following your breath. I'm trying to find one breath per movement at your pace. Gaze forward on the inhale, exhale, step or hop to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. Holding forward on the exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands, step or hop back, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pausing here for a moment. Letting the knees bend, rising up on toes, gazing forward. Almost like you're hopping over a log. See if you can hop to the top of the mat on the exhale. Inhale, half lift. We'll fold forward on the exhale. Rising up to mountain pose. Then sinking into our chair pose. Settling in. Just feeling the weight rocking towards your heels. Maybe the glutes are starting to turn on. Release, folding forward on the exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands, chaturanga, high to a plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts on the inhale. Exhale, step forward, warrior two. Back foot spins so it's perpendicular. Sending the arms to extend across your space. Right palm flips up, reaching forward. Reversing your warrior. Directing your gaze to that right hand or your left foot. Exhale, cartwheel hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, warrior two. You can always extend this stance if you feel like your knee is coming too far forward. Lifting the palm up, reversing your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling left leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts on the inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, taking it through one more time on your own. We'll meet in a down dog or child's pose. From downward down dog, giving yourself a couple breaths to get there. Inhale the right leg behind, bending the knee, stacking the hip, really letting the weight of that heel open up, almost as if you're trying to stack your hips. Straightening the right leg. As we exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. One more, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crescent lunge. So right foot steps between the hands, feet parallel, about hip width. And you can always scoot that stance a little bit wider for balance. We're going to imagine there's a band between our hands, like a fitness band, and as we dip down with the left knee, pulling the arms down, almost getting that sensation you have a tight band between them. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dipping down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dipping down. Inhale, rise. Open to warrior two. And we're preparing for extended side angle. Just gently setting that right forearm and right thigh. Sending the left arm overhead. Just feeling the energy from the outer edge of that left foot to the fingertips. And feeling all the muscles turned on. Reversing our warrior on the inhale. Exhale, cartwheel hands. Take your vinyasa or step back to down dog. Inhale the left leg behind, the knee bent, the hip open. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. One more, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crescent lunge. Again, with that band between your hands, that imaginary band. So we exhale, we'll dip the right knee down, pulling the arms, feeling the shoulder blades activated. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dipping down. Inhale, rise. One more, exhale, dip down. Inhale, rise. Opening to our warrior two. As we exhale, finding that extended side angle. And see if you can keep equal length on both sides of the body. Trying to keep the waist as even as possible. Keeping the lower body steady and stable. Reversing our warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands. Take your vinyasa. Or step back to down dog. You're gonna pop in some chaturanga push-ups here. Or from plank to chaturanga. Knees down is a great option. I will be cueing from knees down. We'll just take 5 here. Taking some pressure off the legs. Down. Exhale, up. 2. Exhale, up. 3. Exhale, up. 4. Exhale, up. 5. Exhale, up. Popping the toes, pressing back to down dog. Inhaling the right leg. Exhale, crescent lunge. We're gonna open to warrior two. And pivoting to the left side of the mat. So the feet pivot, we're coming into goddess, heels in, toes out. As we sink down, noticing if you can turn on those glutes to support your lower back. And taking just a few breaths here. Maybe try and lift toes, noticing what that does, what muscles that turns on. We'll rise up to star. This next move is a little bit awkward. We're gonna pivot the feet so that they're parallel. Hands can be on hips. We're gonna root into the right foot. So we're coming to a one-legged mountain from the side. Maybe a little bit wobbly. It's a motion we don't normally do. Just breathing into it, letting yourself hold this for a few breaths. Stepping back out to star. Sinking into goddess. Opening warrior two. Flipping the palm up, reversing warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands. Take your vinyasa, or step back to down dog. Inhaling left leg. Exhale, crescent lunge. Opening up, warrior two. And pivot to the right side of the mat for goddess, heels in, toes out. Letting yourself sink down. Finding something different, maybe exploring a different motion or a different depth, whether it's a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Rise up, pivoting feet so they're parallel. This time rooting into the left foot. I'm going to shift over, taking one-legged mountain, balancing on the left leg. Maybe this is your easier side. For me, this is definitely my much more stable side. And stepping back out to our star. Heels come in. One more goddess. We rise up, pivoting to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel hands. Take that vinyasa, or step back to down dog. Knees forward on the inhale, exhale. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain. And sinking into our chair. So this is a more glute work that we'll be taking. We will be doing a lot of chairs, so if you don't want to go too deep, maybe giving yourself that extra little boost of coming up a little bit higher. And bringing hands to the heart. We're going to root into the right foot. We're going to come to airplane from here. So pushing into the right foot, the left leg extends behind. The hands can extend behind you or stay at your heart. Bring the knee back, coming back to chair. We'll take this on the opposite side. Pressing into the left foot, extending the right leg back. Hands can reach behind, or they can rest at your heart. We'll do this one more time. Coming back to chair. Rooting to the right foot, finding our airplane. Back to chair. Pressing left foot. Right leg extends behind. Inhale, coming back to chair. We'll take a forward fold. Take ragdoll. We're coming into Padangusthasana. Slipping the palms under the soles of the feet. Maybe a little bit of movement. Just giving a little break to the legs and the glutes. And help giving them some nice soft length. And releasing the hands if you were having them tucked under your feet. We'll inhale, rise to mountain pose. I'm gonna come back to the chair on the exhale. I'll be twisting to the right. I'm twisting, letting that left elbow reach the right knee, or between the knees or the right thigh. Rooting into the right foot. We'll step that left foot back. The hands can rest at your heart, or they can open floor to ceiling. As you press into the feet, we'll rise up. So we're coming to an open crescent twist. The arms will be extended. Coming to crescent lunge. I'm going to root into that right knee. Coming to one-legged mountain. You can hold onto the knee or to the toe of the left foot. Maybe extending it out. Noticing what would happen if you let go of it. And even if the foot is down here, finding a spot so you're using the core, you're using your glutes, using your hips to keep that leg up. One more breath. So we bring the leg down, we'll find a standing split. Sending that left leg behind, the hands come to the mat. See if you can rise out of that standing hip so we're not sinking into it. We're trying to grow taller. An option for 3 Shiva squats here. We exhale, left knee comes behind the right calf, gazing forward. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squat. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squat. Inhale, extend. We're going to touch the left toe behind, so we're in a low lunge now. We're crawling the hands so that we're facing the left side of the mat for Prasarita, with feet parallel. Just let yourself sink down between the feet, whether the hands are under your shoulders, your ankles, be coming underneath toward the right side of your mat. Should feel like a nice break after all the glute work. And we have one more side to do on this. With the hands under shoulders, take a little twist with the right hand under the nose. Left hand reaches up, letting your gaze follow your hand. And switching sides, the left hand underneath, the right hand reaches up. And bringing the hand down, we'll pivot to the top of the mat for pyramid pose. You can step that left foot as far forward as you need or as you'd like. The hands on the mat, on the block, on your hips. Just giving yourself the opportunity to come into whatever variation or whichever setup gives you the ability to really breathe into the back of the right leg. Bending into the right knee, stepping the left foot forward. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. Exhale, sinking into our chair. And twisting left. Right elbow comes to the left thigh or between the knees. In that breath flowing. So we press into the left foot, stepping that right foot back. And hands can rest here at your sternum, or they can open floor to ceiling. And the next inhale, pressing into the feet, rise up to that open crescent twist, letting the arms extend to the front and back of your space. Inhale, crescent lunge. And pressing into that left knee, we'll bring the left foot, bring the right knee up. You can hold onto the knee or the big toe. Extending that leg out. And then noticing here what happens if you let go of the foot or the leg. Try to keep it up and to fight gravity. One more breath. And swing, pivot, swinging it behind, coming into our standing split. Staying here, we're taking Shiva squats. So we squat, the right knee comes behind the left calf. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squat. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squat. Inhale, extend. And touching the right toe behind in our low lunge. And walking the hands to the right side of the mat, pivoting feet. So we find ourselves in the second Prasarita. If you like that clasp behind your back, finding a little shoulder opening. And if your head reaches the ground and you're not feeling anything, you can always walk the feet a little bit closer together. Just giving yourself more room to sink down. Just get that nice benefit of gravity. With the hands on the mat, we'll walk them to the top, pivoting feet, taking pyramid pose on the side, both sets of toes facing the top of the mat. And letting the breath sweep over the hamstrings, over the glutes. Bending into the left knee, stepping the right foot forward. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. And exhale, hands come to heart center. So we're going to move into tree next. Starting with balance on the right foot. Left foot can come to calf, come to thigh, come to ankle. If you really want to challenge balance, try gazing at the ceiling or closing your eyes. And it often helps if you lower the foot lower than what you normally do if you're going to close your eyes, just giving you a little bit more steadiness. So embracing any of that wiggling, all that strength building. Release, switching sides, maybe the legs shake out a little bit first. Planting the left foot. Placing right foot on left leg. Just finding what you need on the side if you want that challenge. Again, maybe a lower placement of the right foot would be beneficial. Release. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. So we plant our hands, we'll step back. Down dog, vinyasa is an option here as well. We're going to come down to forearms now, coming into our dolphin pose. So making an 11, pressing the forearms into the mat, pressing the palms and the finger pads into the mat. And keeping your gaze somewhere between your forearms, starting to walk the feet closer. So build strength in the shoulders. And for people who have issues with wrists, this can actually be a great option to a down dog. We're going to rock forward to a high or low plank. You may need to pop your feet a little bit further back if you walked in far. We'll press back to dolphin. Let's take this 2 more times. Inhale, coming forward, low plank. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, low plank. Exhale, dolphin. And back to low plank. Taking that right hand, pivoting it so the right hand is near the left elbow. We're going to take a side plank. Okay. This arm can be parallel to the top of your mat, or you can angle it out a bit. Your feet can be stacked, the right knee can be down. Let's try to keep the hips elevated, almost floating up. We'll come back into forearms. So we switch sides, pivoting that left arm, letting the hips open up. Coming back to our low plank, coming up to tall arms. And then step or hop the feet to the outside of the hands, finding Malasana, our low yogi squat. A little swing is a nice way to ease and stretch out the glutes and the hips. If you'd like to take crow here, that's an option as well. Planting hands on the mat, shoulder width about a foot in front, knees on triceps, and gaze about a foot in front of you. Really thinking cat back if you're in crow. Drawing that spot between the shoulder blades up, drawing the core up. And coming back to down dog. Letting the legs pedal a little bit. We'll walk the feet up to the hands to forward fold. This is another kind of unusual little flow. So we're going to stay in this forward fold, planting the right hand, grabbing the left big toe with the left hand. I'm going to lift that left leg out to the side. Not very high, but we're going to take this 5 times. 4, 3, 2, 1. So switch sides, left hand plants. Bent knees are always great here. Holding on to the right leg, extending it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just a little extra bonus for the glutes. So we plant our hands, step back to down dog. Inhale the right leg behind, bending the knee, opening the hip. If you'd like to flip, coming into wild thing, carefully stepping that foot to the mat. Coming back to our 3-legged dog. As we enter half pigeon, right knee to right wrist. Lengthening that left leg back just a bit. We start on tall arms. We're just surrendering over that right shin. Your head can be on your hands on a block, maybe on the mat. Just sending a little breath and a little appreciation to the right hip. The hip and the glute worked really hard today, so this should feel good. This should definitely be a beneficial rest for it. We'll place the hands under the shoulders. As we extend the right leg, shaking it out and planting it back. Switching sides, the left leg comes up, knee bends, opening the hip, maybe flipping on the side. Straightening the leg, coming into our half pigeon. Being really conscious of what the side needs. Maybe we need to come into this a little bit different way. Finding the tall arms. Extending the left leg, giving it a shake and setting it down. Coming to plank. To your count of 5, coming all the way down to your belly. And flipping tops of the feet onto the mat. Arms reaching behind. Once we set up for locust pose with chin in the center of the mat. So we inhale, floating up chin and chest, floating up the arms and the legs. Really feeling the entire back of your body working. If you're up for more glutes still, feel free to tap the heels together. Also a great way to pass the time. It makes this pose go a lot quicker. Release down, placing your cheek on the mat, letting the knees bend, and swaying the feet side to side. Extending the left arm out like a wing as we come into spatula. Placing right hand under right shoulder. We'll start to roll over onto that left arm. And hips can stack. Right foot can step behind. If this feels uncomfortable, you can change the angle of your arm. If that doesn't help, coming back onto your belly. Should be a nice stretch across the chest. Releasing to your stomach, pulling in the left hand, extending the right. And we'll switch sides as we roll over onto the right side, stepping the left leg behind. Coming back onto your belly. I'm going to press up, sitting onto the heels, shifting them over, sweeping the legs around. From here, we're going to roll like a ball, working on core. The options are hugging the knees, elbows on knees with the hands free, or elbows on knees, hands on the head, and using your core to control this and pausing at the top so we're not using momentum. We'll do this for about 20 seconds, taking your own pace. And pausing at the top when you get there. Planting feet on the mat. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop or reverse plank. With hands behind, fingers facing your hips. Draw the hips up, so we're coming into that tabletop shape. If you still have the energy or the desire to do so, you can come into a reverse plank, straightening the legs, trying to keep the hips up. When you're in this pose, recommend either letting the head drop back if that's comfortable, or keeping it in line with your spine, but that spot in between can actually cause a lot of danger or harm. So just doing what feels more natural for your body. Release the hips down. Let the feet planted, the knees bent. Lay your spines onto the mat. So we set up our bridge pose. We'll be taking 2 bridges. The option if you'd like to take a one-legged bridge, one on each side. As you draw the hips up, crawling shoulders under, clasping hands, maybe placing a block into your hip. If you'd like the one-legged bridge, just extending one leg. Really drawing that energy into the left foot if the right leg is up. But whatever foot is on the ground, using that glute to really help hold the opposite leg up. And we'll switch sides, letting the back come down for a moment, swaying knees side to side. And coming back into a bridge. If you took the one-legged, taking the opposite leg this side. We always have one side that's a little bit weaker than the other. And sometime if you're doing this on your own, it might be interesting to see what would happen if you took the weaker side a little bit longer, helping you create a little bit of balance and stability. Releasing the foot down, the back comes down. Giving the knees a hug. You're finding a little bit of rocking. Letting the legs come up toward the ceiling, finding your inversion. You can stay here in a candlestick. If you have a wall and would like to take legs up the wall against the wall or furniture, it's a great option. If you're taking a shoulder stand, making sure that you're supporting your low back with your hands. Wherever you are, letting the legs float to that point where they feel light and almost effortless for them to be there. As we exit, if you found a shoulder stand, coming into plow. Giving the knees a nice hug. Reaching for feet or ankles to find happy baby. The feet onto the mat. Find your Supta Baddha Konasana. Just joining the soles of the feet together. The knees reach out, hanging to the sides. And setting hands on your heart and your belly. Just feeling your heartbeat. Feeling the rhythm of your breath. And drawing the knees together. So we take our supine twist. Arms can come to a T. The knees stacked. And then gently drop over to the left. If you're looking for more depth, you can always slip that right leg over, winding it, find a twisted root. Taking what feels good today. Just releasing everything toward the mat. Coming back towards center, switching sides, and creating the same shape as the knees come over to the right. Coming to center, giving your knees one squeeze, curling up into a tiny ball. And letting it go. As we set up for Shavasana, and come into a traditional Shavasana, taking up as much space as you'd like on your mat. You can find a comfortable seat or even take legs up the wall. Start to bring awareness to your body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. And starting to roll out your wrists and your ankles. The next inhale, extending arms overhead. And the next exhale, drawing knees in as you roll over to one side. And as you rest your head on your arm, just letting yourself go back to that place that you found at the beginning of practice, that place that gave you peace. And just reminding yourself of that spot. And reminding yourself of how it makes you feel. And knowing you can cultivate this sense of peace anytime you want. And slowly, in your own time, coming up to a comfortable seat. And I'd like to share this with you. Balance isn't something that you find, it's something that you create. With hands together, drawing them up to third eye center, wishing you peace in your thoughts. Bringing hands to your lips, wishing you peace in your words. And lowering hands to heart center, wishing you peace in your heart. And together, as we bow forward, we seal our practice. Namaste.